Bevcanna has the ability to manufacture for an entrepreneur that doesn't have a tremendous amount of capital, but has a great idea. Well, they can come to us with their formulation that maybe they've made with their partners or their friend or their family or someone that's actually developed their formulation for them. They can come to us and we're a full service one-stop shop.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. Hello and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. It's Rick Nusky. I'm your host, and on today's show I am with the wonderful Marcello Leone. Welcome to the show, Marcello.
Thank you, Rick.
Now, you and I were just talking about a very concise interview that I was watching on YouTube with the wonderful Jim Gordon. Now, the format that we use here is slightly different, and it takes us, I guess, a bit into the annals of time and looks at your personal life just a little bit in terms of, your hobbies and where you're located. And I guess that'd be a great place to start. And then we'll pivot into your wonderful organisation called Bevcanna Enterprises, which we'll take a deep dive into in a little while. So where are you located?
I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia. Beautiful Canada.
Fantastic. Now, I know that you at least were a keen runner, and after watching that interview, I found that there were some issues with that, and I'd love to talk about that in a moment. But what are your other hobbies? Do you still like to run and walk?
You know, I now walk, and I walk a little bit fast walk, and the running as I've gotten a little bit older is less on the agenda, Rick. And we have a number of rescue dogs, so we really love walking, my wife and I, and so we tend to get out every day.
Yep.
And try and get 5 to 6 kilometers a day and stay healthy mind, get out into the nature and just keep it all nice and clear.
Keep it all real. Now, I know that it takes a special type of person to rescue dogs, because we rescue dogs ourselves, and they can be challenging because they've come from, I guess, not so great backgrounds. How have you found that experience?
You know, I think our experience is you wonder how people can be so mean to dogs or animals in general, and they are such beautiful souls. For us, it's just been a beautiful experience, and at least they can enjoy their journey in life and to be looked after and safe. And so nothing better than curling up in the evening and having a number of dogs join you. And it's amazing how interactive they become too. They need you.
Yeah.
They need it. So yeah, it's just something that makes us feel good, and hate to see them suffer. You know, I don't know if you ever see those shows on television that they ask for donation of abused dogs, etc. And
certainly,
you look at that status and you're like, how can anybody do that? So yeah, no, it's a great feeling, and it's just all about health and wellness, whether it's humanity or whether it's animals.
And I know that you are giving them a better life, that's for sure and certain, and the environment in which you live, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I'd love to talk a little bit more about that. So what's, a typical day look like for you? Do you go walking every day? Do you take the dogs with you? How does it look for you?
Every day I wake up very early, around 5 o'clock in the morning, and I get myself organized and do some reading and check everything out on my emails and get into the work mode, and usually by about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, one mistake I'm sure we've all made when we were younger, that philosophy that there's never enough time in a day or a week. Time goes by so quickly.
Sure does.
I make it a point every day that an hour and a half to 2 hours I have to get out and walk, and it just keeps us healthy, and it keeps your mind fresh, and it makes you more productive. And when you're going 12 to 14 hours a day, you need to have balance.
Yeah, it's completely relevant too, because we have, startup entrepreneurs and existing small to medium-sized business owners on this call who are wondering about that, and they often look to people like yourself who have walked the path before them. So thank you for sharing that sage insight. Now, favourite movie? You got one?
Yeah, I think I would say probably my favorite movie is Hacksaw Ridge.
Fantastic, fantastic. Are you the cook in the house, or uh,
That I cannot say I am. No, but I'm a team player. I do the dishes, and I push my weight all day long. So, good team effort. That's what keeps my wife and I have been married and together almost 28 years. And
oh, congratulations, awesome.
I think my son is 25 and my daughter is 24. So, when you're as we're entrepreneurs and you're on the journey for life, and you have a family, it's always hard work, and you've got to contribute, and that's just the way it is.
Now, I wonder, have your goals as an entrepreneur changed since you first started, whenever it was? Do you look at business the same way nowadays? What's the
You
end
know,
goal for you?
the end goal, that's a great question. If you would have asked me 15 years ago, today I'm 54 years old this June. So if you would have asked me in my early 40s, I think as an entrepreneur, and when we start young, you have, your eyes are big, and
Yep.
and you want to achieve everything. And I think as you get older, you want to have a positive experience in life. You want to have peace and harmony. You want to be that entrepreneur to actually achieve and succeed, and it's never for sure, and there are always obstacles, and there's certain times in the journey where you think and you will fail, and you have failed, and that will make you an even stronger entrepreneur, because whatever we choose to do, it's so easy to give up in life, and it's so easy to listen to others. You really have to be laser focused and focus on the journey where I am today, where I'm blessed we're blessed. And so we're blessed, we have meals every day, and we have healthy people around us. We have a home. And I think we have a business that can leave a legacy behind, no matter how that would look in the future. And I think you just gotta enjoy the process, and sometimes just take a deep breath, smell the roses, because life is short. And
Oh yeah.
as you get older, I don't know about you, but we get older, and all those ambitions when you're young, and never a moment to breathe, and never time to exercise, and never time to do this. We got to work. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to do that. That affects and creates something called stress that can affect a tremendous amount within your body. In your body, that on the exterior you may look and say, wow, I look healthy. And then when you get to our age and you start checking yourself out, stress has a tremendous impact. So I'm a big advocate for all entrepreneurs and anybody who's on this journey and wants to be that entrepreneur, because you look at the pinnacle individuals, the Buffetts of the world, the Bill Gates and the Teslas, Elon Musk, and everybody wants to go.
Yep.
I think no, it's beautiful to have that ambition. Understand that failure is normal and makes you a better person, and then understand that health is one of the most important ingredients for you to continue to be a great entrepreneur. So we have to be careful with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for sharing. I really love how you've grounded your life's journey, because it's information that some people don't even consider until it's too late, and they have a health episode that they have to deal with because of that wonderful friend of ours called stress. So again, thank you. Now, if we can go back, Marcello, to your childhood days, where did you grow up, and what is one fond memory that you have of your childhood? I'm sure there's plenty.
Yeah, I think I was born in Montreal, Quebec. My parents are originally from Italy, immigrated to Quebec, Montreal, Canada, and ended up in Vancouver when I was about 7 years old. Mm-hmm. And my family, we started from, my parents had nothing, and we were blessed with the roof over our head. And I guess the fondest memories for me was, I'll never forget when we all went to, this is many years ago. It's not like it is today. I'll never forget going as a family to meet the bank manager for my dad to get his first loan for his first hair salon, because he was a hairdresser. And they wanted to meet the whole family. And my mom bought me a suit, and my sister a little dress. And and we got our first loan, and he opened his first business, and my sister and I would work there in the summertime. So it was a beautiful experience. I mean, you tend to forget where you come from at times, like with that kind of experience to what the next 45 years could bring you. But wow, what a special time it was.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate learning a little bit more about you, Marcello. I think about these things, and I think you've just touched on basically your first entrepreneurial experience. At that time, presumably it was your father and his ability to get on the front foot and get the business going that had an impression on you. Fast forward to today, who impresses you now and motivates you, do you think?
Well, that's
or
a great
question.
You? You know, I guess you have to develop a certain DNA as you get older, and you get touched by, you know, the movie you asked me about, your family background, people that you have worked with that have been have had an influence through your experience. You know, I would probably say that my wife has been really, you know, just an amazing partner. And I think that when you're an entrepreneur and you take risks, and when you take risks, you might risk your house. Mm-hmm. And when you risk your house, there's maybe a partner involved and children involved. And that's what entrepreneurs do. Some make it, some don't make it. But to have someone who's supportive through the journey, and there are long days and many dark years before you get to the next level, if you can, and a lot of barriers along the way. So, you know, I have to tip my hat off to my wife. She's just been such a powerful, just a pillar of strength to help me through where we've gone through. So yeah, I would probably say her 100%. And our kids have been very supportive. So, you know, I remember when we started the journey, we sat them down and we said, hey, you know what? We just want you to know something. Here we are. We're entrepreneurs. We're risking everything. And so don't expect anything if it doesn't work out. And at least you're going to learn what it's going to take for hopefully you one day to go on your journey. And you're going to stick with mom and dad. So that's been kind of awesome.
I love it because, you know, you're talking about somebody who is your life partner, being there and, you know, taking that risk, because we don't have long on this planet, let's be honest. So we might as well make a good go of it. But also you're mentoring your children apart from being a father. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Now, I want to talk about Bevcanna in a moment, because you've got some wonderful products in there in front of you right now. But before we do that, what's your professional background prior to Bevcanna, or has it always been Bevcanna?
No, I graduated from university, did my degree very quickly, 4-year program in 2.5 years. So I went, you know, when we go to university and you get the spring, you end in the spring and you get the summer off. Yep. I did summer courses. I graduated quickly from university, and I went to work in the family business with my mother and father, where I was challenged through that experience, helped my mom and dad build their business. Mm-hmm. The first 3 years that we were together, we were close to losing the business. It was tough go. And we were in the, my father was a hairdresser. My mother opened up in front of the hair salon an apparel store in the front. So we became an apparel fashion house in Vancouver, British Columbia. And I worked with my family till I was about 42. My mother and father retired about 7 years ago. They sold their business, a very successful, profitable business. And then I started my journey as an entrepreneur on my own without family when I was 43 years old. And now I'm at 54. And it was a scary process, and but what a journey it's been, and I have no regrets. Wow, what I know today, what we learned from the experience, we can share. I wouldn't do, you know, I would have made some mistakes, but I needed to make the mistakes to learn
the lesson,
the lesson, and how to be better at what the journey is about and what's important, and that whole experience. And so, here we are, and that's what we've been able to do over the last several years. But I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, and it's a credit to you, because I know that Bevcanna Enterprises is taking off in a massively emerging market, and it's rapid paced, and I'm very excited about it. And I'd love to now talk about that, because there'll be people on the call wondering, what's Bevcanna Enterprise? And I think maybe that's a really good place for you to start. Would you mind sharing a little bit of the background?
No, let me do that. Now, so the background, we'll talk about Bevcanna, which is a licensed producer, and I'll get into details about that for cannabis beverages and natural products, nutraceuticals. But we started off 10 years, 11 years, 12 years ago. My wife and I, we looked at health and wellness and where was the future of the world going. And we had an opportunity that I used to get my runner's knee quite a bit. And I used to get a pain, and I used to get walking pneumonia a couple of times a year. So that was the experience of being the family business entrepreneur, pushing 7 days a week. And I was introduced to a plant-based mineral like I have in this supplement bottle called Trace Fulvic and Humic. And I was told what the benefits of this product was. And when I heard it, my wife told me, I said, wow, that sounds pretty awesome, but also crazy. I've never heard about this before. And if it could actually work, that would be wonderful. And so I started to take the supplement, and basically, long and short of it, over the last 9 years, I haven't had a cold. I don't take any flu shots, and my runner's knee comes on once every couple of months when I'm doing light exercise or I walk a lot. So from that experience and falling in love for what this product could do, I then said, is this company, as an entrepreneur, what is this company? How can I get involved in this company? This sounds like, wow, some great innovation. Ended up becoming a shareholder in the company. It was owned originally by two people out of Vancouver, and they developed their version of first generation concentrate.
Yeah.
And I went out and I wanted to say, okay, well, in order to make this taste really great, to get a ready-to-drink product like you see right here, that's in over 3,000 points of sale across Canada and getting ready for expansion internationally, south of the border, and internationally in Southeast Asia.
Exciting.
And you have it here. What's beautiful about it is that this still has to taste. It has mineral benefits, but it has to taste like the finest, beautiful spring water you've ever tasted. And so, long and short, I ended up acquiring in Osoyoos, British Columbia, in Bridesville. We ended up acquiring 313 acres. It had a beautiful water source that I fell in love with, because I thought, if we're going to do beverages, and I knew nothing about beverages, right?
Yep.
Nothing. But I understood that, hey, if we're going to get into the beverage, I want to make sure that we have a water source, that we're not dependent on somebody else. And then we ended up, there was a small little bottling facility on the water source. The original gentleman who started it had a small and was licensed to have a bottling facility of about 4,000 square feet. And he had the natural water, untouched by man, this alkaline water.
Marriage made in heaven.
Alkaline, natural 7.7 alkalinity that would come directly into the bottling facility and infuse all the beverages and bottle the beverages, and never touched by man. So I love that.
Incredible.
So I ended up acquiring the company, and over time, and it's a process as an entrepreneur, because if you have all the money in the world, it's one thing. If you're an entrepreneur, we build it in blocks and build a foundation, and sometimes we get there, and other times it takes longer time to get there. And we ended up building Naturo Group, which has a complete vertical. We own a high state-of-the-art bottling facility that can produce over 200 million bottles per annum. And we have a 42,000 square foot facility today that allows us to produce our own beverages, which you see in front of here right now, our brand called Trace. And it allows us to do also white label opportunities for other vendors in the CPG space. And then it took to get anything that you put into your body, Rick, anything you drink, any food, you require the highest level of compliance in Canada, called CFIA, which is equivalent to US FDA.
Yep.
And in order to get the fulvic and humic plant-based minerals approved as a ready-to-drink beverage. It took me almost 5.5 to 6 years to get compliance in Canada.
Goodness.
Because the innovation was so leading that they didn't know much about it. And they wanted to make sure that it was ingested, that it was safe for everybody. And we went through all the tests and passed all that and finally got our CFIA compliance. And here you go where we are today, where about 3 years ago, because we're specialists in infusion. And when you infuse the supplement, when you put it into your coffee or into your beverage, any beverage you drink, if you can control the dosage by putting 1 or 2 tablespoons. If you want to have more efficacy or you want to put more, some people that use supplement would like to put 2 or 3, and they taste the minerals much more. They think when they taste the minerals, maybe it works more for them. Yep. So there's that person. And then there's the ready to drink that buys it in the 7-Elevens, the Sobeys across the country, and they want the benefits of the product, but the taste has to be like the finest spring water you've ever seen.
Of course.
There was the beauty of it, and being able to infuse these minerals, plant-based minerals, into the ready to drink was a stepping stone when we were approached and asked if we were interested to go into infused legalization of cannabis. And at first we were like, wow, cannabis, this is different. How do you do that? And I looked over, we were at the boardroom table, I kind of looked over at my son and another young executive, and I said, excuse me, but do you guys, I come from plant-based minerals, fulvic and humic, etc. Do you guys know about it? And they're like, yeah, it's the future. Yes, we got to do that. And so 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, we started the journey, and Naturo Group has its allocated space. So we're the only bottling facility, full vertical, high capacity, that has square footage allocated exclusively for CPG products like you see in front of me. Mm-hmm. And then there's an extra 10,000 square foot dedicated, licensed by Health Canada, that took almost 2.5 years to get the license. So barrier to entry into the space is very difficult because the infrastructure foundational cost is so expensive, Rick, that it took us 10 years to get there. Today, you're going to be in the space. You have to make that capital investment right out of the get-go. And so we have 10,000 square feet. That's a licensed producer that allows us to do CBD infused beverages, allows us to do cannabis infused beverages, THC, hemp extracts. It allows us as brand people that have built our own brand and are in retail. We do our own brand called Anarchist Mountain. We have the ability to offer our own brands, but we also wanted to make sure, coming and being an entrepreneur, I knew that this was going to be a space that no different than the end of prohibition for alcohol.
Of course.
Where is this industry going to be? We're the first federally legal country in the world, us in Canada. Can you imagine when the rest of the world is open? And can you imagine when CBD is deemed an NPN number and is considered in every, by the health associations in North America and probably all over the world, that you can have a CBD with a certain amount of milligrams involved that is not excessive, that you can buy at your grocery store, at Costco. That's what's coming. So where we've seen the evolution and the end of prohibition and alcohol over the last decades, we're going to see this, and being first to market, it's pretty exciting. But that is our capabilities in what we've been able to do with Bevcanna. So Bevcanna has the ability to manufacture for an entrepreneur that doesn't have a tremendous amount of capital, but has a great idea. Well, they can come to us with their formulation that maybe they've made with their partners or their friend or their family or someone that's actually developed their formulation for them. They can come to us, and we're a full service one-stop shop. We don't put pressure that you have to do millions of bottles a year. Mm-hmm. We very low commitment for the entrepreneur that comes, and we can do low capacity and we can do very high capacity. And what it allows us is we can do 2-ounce form factors up to 4-liter form factors. We can do PET, fully sustainable and recyclable plastic, and we can do cans, and we can do glass. And so we are very unique that we can do all types of form factors. So if you're an entrepreneur that's coming and you're a craft and you're a little bit smaller, we can offer that full service for you to get you with the correct branding and get you in the right bottle, and then get you out to retail as well. And so there's the ability of being able to be a full service branded and white label. So that's on the beverage side. And then we also have the nutraceutical side and natural products of our business, so that where we can do supplements, concentrates into your beverages. You'll be seeing in our on our website, people will be seeing in the next couple of months, you'll see vitamins that'll be hitting the shelves as well with the fulvic and humic. So a different form factor as well of consumption. You'll see powders that'll go into beverages as well. Mm-hmm. So we're able to participate and do beverages and natural nutraceuticals as well. And
will you be going into the edible space, do you think, later on?
You know, could we at some point? I never say never, Rick.
Yeah, of course.
The ever since we received our standard processing license, and then once you receive your standard processing license, you have to have a sales license in order to sell the product.
Yes.
Not only do you have to go through 2.5, 3 years of compliance, building the facility per Health Canada, getting all of the audits done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. Now, once you got your standard processing license, now you got to get your sales license, and that takes 9 months. And so we were lucky and strategic, our group, that we partnered with a partner out of Alberta that has a sales license, so that we announced that we had a joint venture partnership with our license for sales license. So we're able to go to market within the next 2 months. And what's been exciting about that is the phone has not stopped. White label clients are calling, major LPs are calling, craft entrepreneurs are calling, and everybody wants just a one-stop shop, because I remember what it was like when I started, and I was like, I know nothing about the beverage business. This is crazy. But I believe so much in what the efficacy of this product did, Rick. It blew my mind. And here's what Health Canada allows us to say about the product, so I'll just let you know so you know the benefit.
Of course.
Helps prevent cognitive degeneration, acts as a very strong gut clean, acts as a very strong immune booster, and helps reduce osteoporosis. Pretty powerful product. I fell in love. And from there, as an entrepreneur, I took the build it and they will come. And now we pray blessings that they continue to come.
You know, you talk about, you hear people talking about, quote unquote, the overnight success. Your overnight success has taken more than 10 years in the making, and it is a credit to you. And I can only see bright things for the future. Just like Prohibition, we're going through, a revolution of sorts, and we are evolving as a society. We can see some positive things coming out of this. We've seen health and medicinal benefits from the basis of the products that you've just mentioned, and I am very excited for Bevcanna's future. Now, I think that would be an understatement for you. I bet you wake up every morning super pumped up.
You know what? I'm pumped, and we got into the discussion about beverages and how we started, and then as you're waiting for this compliance, right? You're also looking, and I don't know if you can hear my rescue dogs.
Don't worry about them.
My apologies, but
that life is happening around us all the time.
At least everybody knows that they're here, and but what's also very, very exciting with Bevcanna is we saw how long it was taking with Health Canada. We knew the process, and we wanted to kind of get to revenue on the Bevcanna side, the cannabis side of the business, the CBD side of the business a little bit earlier as we were waiting. So we also looked at south of the border. The United States is going to become a very important market for us as well. North America is huge. So what we did was another pillar. So as an entrepreneur, not building a foundation of a business on a chair with one stool.
Yep.
One leg, sorry.
Yep.
You build this stool with 3 or 4, so it's solid. We went out and we acquired a online e-commerce company called Pure Therapy, and that came with years of history, 23,000 customers. The run rate this year is approximately 7 million Canadian, but more importantly, it gives us a platform to sell CBD infused products online throughout the United States where we could ship, and natural nutraceutical products as well. So it gives us a good feel for the whole health and wellness category.
Oh yeah.
And it allows us to use the e-commerce platform to begin selling our trace products. As I mentioned, you're going to see supplement. you're going to see vitamins, you're going to see powders. And so it gives us a nice foothold in the United States. And then, as we were waiting for compliance, which every LP has to wait a long time, we looked at who's the number one beverage company in the United States. And it's a brand out of Colorado that's been live for about 10 years. Its name is Keef, Keef. And it was quite, we reached out to Keef, and we ultimately, since federally legal, this is a brand that Canadians would probably love to try, the most important brand in the United States. 8 of the top 10 beverages in Colorado, where Keef is from, is owned by Keef.
Oh.
In California, 2 of the top 10 brands are represented and owned by Keef. So, and by units sold on an annual basis, they are the number 1 beverage brand in the United States. So we did a exclusive partnership agreement with Keef.
Excellent.
So we manufacture all of their products for Canada, and we distribute all of their products for Canada as well. So we are getting excited to get to the authorized distributors across Canada to launch their products within the next 45 days to 60 days. And they have over 1,000 points of retail distribution, dispensaries in the United States, and they also have a very strong manufacturing capability in the U.S., which allows us a strong partnership to get ready to launch our own products in the U.S. So it's a beautiful bilateral agreement, beautiful partnership, beautiful brands, and the product. And for people that haven't tasted product with CBD or THC, you want to make sure the product tastes good.
Of course.
Last thing you want to do is have that awful taste in your mouth. And there's a lot of beverages out there that do not have taste.
I've actually tried some other products, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on your products. And
you're gonna love it. You're gonna love one of our beverages that I grew up loving to drink this drink, and that it was a mandate for our team to make sure that we could have a CBD infused beverage and taste it excellent like this drink, because everyone's going to love it. Yeah. But I just wanted to share, those are the 4 strong pillars that we have. So it gives us the ability to be very fluid, very, very focused, and who knows what the future looks like.
This is incredible. I'm barely able to sustain myself and sit down without trying to find out more information about you and Bevcanna Enterprises. I'm wondering, Marcello, where can people find out more information, either just from a top level and then as an investor?
Sure. Bevcanna.com. We are a public company. Our ticker symbol in Canada on the CSE is BEV.
Pretty simple.
We're in the OTCQB as well in the United States under BVNMF. So, you can find a lot of information if you go to our website. And then there's a link if you have any questions. Our team responds very quickly. We've got a great deck online. We're very interactive with our shareholders. And we do have excellent shareholders. And I think the future's bright. I think when people ask me, where are we in this whole process? That people ask me, where are we in this process?
Yep.
And I say to them, let's look at it like a baseball diamond. We haven't even hit first base, right?
Yeah, we're at the start of this wonderful journey. It's going to be incredible. I just have to say, for everybody who's on this call today, I will be making sure that you get the links back to Bevcanna. It's BEVCANNA.com. There is a link to media. There's a whole bunch of information that's relevant and timely for you, and there's also an investor portal that you can look at further information. And Marcello, I just have to say I'm very excited for Bevcanna Enterprises, for your future personally, and thank you so very much for joining me on the My Future Business Show today.
Blessings to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, and we're always here for you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, Then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.